Alrighty, GPT-4 is here today. After spending over 1,000 hours on GPT 3.5 and GPT-3, I did a side-by-side comparison so we can go through some of the key features and updates of GPT-4 versus GPT 3.5. High level, I'll say I'm really impressed. It's going from things like 85% accuracy to 95% accuracy with common sense knowledge, which doesn't seem like a whole lot. It's only 10% improvement, but that last like 10, 15% getting towards 100 is really, really hard. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump straight in and show you exactly what the differences are in a real world use case so that you can decide for yourself what you think. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so here we are inside of GPT-4, brand new update. I ran a quiz prompt to create a quiz titled, How Present Are You? This is an assessment style quiz that gives you a score, and based on that score, you get an outcome. Now, I'm running quizzes on this because that's what I do, and that's what I've run thousands of through GPT 3.5, so I know exactly what is going to be different. This is the new output. I want to show you this and then highlight how this is different in a very subtle but massive way compared to GPT 3.5. So you look at this short description. It says, discover how present you are in your daily life and learn practical ways to improve your presence and increase inner peace. I compare that to the old version, which is discover your level of presence in life and get tips to improve it. Now, the subtle change there is that this reads like a life coach or a therapist might say it. This reads like a quiz on the internet, which is hard to quantify. But I think if you go over and you look at the actual update of GPT-4 and you look at HelloSwag, common sense reasoning around everyday events, that's really the difference between an 85 and a 95. Is like, this is just kind of common sense. Like if you're writing this sort of quiz, you don't want it to be so choppy, which is kind of the problem with 3.5. Now, we get into the questions and it's the same kind of thing. Like check the notification immediately, wait later to check the notification, feel torn between the two, turn off notifications during personal time. So these are like answer choices to a question. Compare that to the old version. And it will say, ignore the notification and stay focused on the moment. Quickly check the notification. Excuse yourself to reply to the notification. Turn off your phone for the duration of the moment with the loved ones. Again, it's really subtle, but you can tell that it's different, right? You can tell that it is different. And the image recommendations here are dramatically better. Like, oof. That is very, very different. Like it's recommending an image to go along with this answer choice: distracted at work, relaxing with family, torn between work and family, and turning off phone, versus family time, busy work, phone screen, no distractions. You can tell like that is different. That is fundamentally different. And that is really, really, really exciting. So that's an assessment style quiz. Some of the highlights and differences there. It gives better recommendations for images. It talks in a more conversational tone that is true to life out of the box without having to teach it how to talk. And that's pretty impressive. Let's go over to a what's your biggest strength quiz. This is a personality type quiz, and I'm running the same exact prompt. These are the outcomes of that. Discover your greatest attribute and learn how to use it to improve your life. This is GPT-4 that I'm looking at. Which activity do you enjoy the most? Solving brain teasers or puzzles, volunteering or helping others, trying new things and taking risks, reading or learning new information. These are all very different from one another. These answer choices, they're distinct and they are human. Now, if I go over here, same kind of differences that we saw with the assessment style quiz. When faced with a difficult task, what do? I take a step back and think through my options. I rely on my intuition. I stay focused. The difference here is these answer choices are like activities that a person would do. These answer choices are formulaic answer choices that will get you to the outcome of this quiz. And it's not that this the GPT-4 is not going to get you to the outcome and figure out your biggest strength. It's just going to correlate real life in-person things better than the 3.5 model. And that's really powerful. That is really powerful. How do you handle difficult situations? Stay calm, assess the situation, talk to someone, lean on your support system, face the challenge head on, analyze the situation. Again, these answer choices are all distinct and different, and they are real life hypotheticals, which draws you into the quiz. We compare that to another question here. When a friend is going through a tough time, I offer this, I offer that, I offer that. This is much, much better. It's much, much better in terms of that human voice aspect of this. This sounds like something that a person would actually say versus this one sounding like something that a quiz should say. Last one here is a knowledge test around bank failures, pertinent timing. I put in an article from Wikipedia. I told it to make me a knowledge test based on that. From the top, the short description: test your knowledge on bank failures, including the reasons behind them and their impact on the economy. It gives me more reasons that I want to take this test rather than just test your knowledge on bank failures and the effects on the economy. Again, it's that last 10%. Like when you look at these charts of the improvement, it does feel like it's the last 10%. Let's go back to the new model here again. What is a bank failure? When a bank goes bankrupt, when a bank is unable to meet its obligations. Bank failure occurs when a bank cannot meet its obligations to depositors and other creditors. Just kind of has a more in the moment vibe of things versus the old model that just feels very short. So you can kind of see here, right? Like the big thing, and I'll stop sharing now because these are kind of the big differences here. But I would say the biggest difference here is that it is doing those finishing, polishing touches, which makes a huge difference because when you're running a prompt and you're trying to get a specific output and you need to run it 3 or 4 times because the voice is slightly off, it doesn't quite match everything up. That's the current reality in 3.5. I need to run a prompt usually 2 or 3 times to get it to give me the output that I want. I think with GPT-4, I'll have a better update in a couple of weeks, but I would guess that you're going to be able to do a one-shot prompt a lot more of the time because you are going from that 80, 85 up into the 90, 95% accuracy in terms of what you want. And it's going to get even more powerful at ingesting stuff that you teach it and then learning to talk like you, because again, it's going to be able to emulate you 95% of the time instead of 85%. So really impressive stuff. Really excited to jump in more. I wanted to just give a quick side-by-side comparison of GPT-4 versus GPT 3.5.